Hello, comrades, and welcome back to Ushanka Show. Здравствуйте, дорогие товарищи. В эфире программа Ushanka Show. Okay, so today we continue reading and analyzing Soviet cruise diaries written by angry wife Nelly, who went on a 2-week cruise across Northern Europe with her husband. And the sad part of that cruise that they decided prior to the cruise that after this trip is over, they're gonna divorce. And let's pause and think for a second. How desperate you would be to travel and see the world beyond the borders of the Soviet Union if you agree to go on a trip with the guy that you literally hate. And the fact that you paid so much money, I mean, that she had to work all summer, pick up any extra work, extra jobs she could to earn enough money to pay this insane amount of cash to go on this trip. So she goes with the guy she hates. She paid tons of money. It's how desperate some Soviet people were to see what's going on the other side of the Iron Curtain. Okay, so back to diaries. October 24th till October 27th. They visited Oslo, the capital of Norway. So they arrived there in the morning, and Nelly describes there was a humongous bay surrounded from all the sides with the bright colored homes and bright advertising. So, in Soviet Union, we really didn't have a lot of advertising or hardly any. I only recall the ones that said, "Летайте самолетами Аэрофлота," fly Airflot Airlines. But that was kind of silly advertising because that was the only airlines in the Soviet Union, Aeroflot. So what the point to waste money, advertise something that you have no other option besides maybe take a train. Okay, sorry, back to Norway. So while they were waiting for buses, they stood on a deck and she noticed that highway was packed full with the non-stop flow of cars. And the cars were all kind of different types and very bright colored. She thought the cars looked very nice, they looked very good, but she didn't notice any single of the Soviet models. Around 10 o'clock in the morning, they finally got off the ship, and she writes that Oslo is the city of lilacs, and the homes look like castles, everything green, everything maintained, and she noticed that apple trees, she called them naked trees, so like they had no leaves already, but apples were still hanging, and apples were huge and really pretty, and she had an impression that they were artificial apples just hanging there, and they hung for decoration. She said they drove by many apoteket, and I assume that's like a drugstore, and she mentioned she saw none in Stockholm, but she still continued repeating that how beautiful homes were. They all were looking different. They all look beautiful. That her eyes were all over it. It sounds, I understand her because, in Soviet Union, people in the cities usually lived in this gray, blah looking 9-story high, 5-story high, or 16-story high apartment buildings. And out in the country, there was just this basic primitive log cabin. There was not much color going on. Her diary continues on October 25th, and that was the birthday of her daughter, who turned 13. So she writes that she missed her much, and then she writes down for her daughter information about prices. And she says that $1 equal about 5 kronas. So meat is a 50 kronas per kilogram, 1 kilo of sugar, 2 kronas, bread 3 and 4. And in Soviet Union, 1 kilo of sugar, I believe, was 70 kopecks, 70, and bread was around 20 kopecks. Then she's talking about price of cars. They're about 50,000 kron, so about $10,000. And to rent the apartment, 1,000 kron. So, for Soviet person, we had a subsidized housing, so to pay 1,000 kronas a month to rent apartment was insane money. And we're talking about people, Soviet person was making average 130 rubles a month, so this is about $20 realistically and somebody's paying 1,000 kronas, $200 a month to live somewhere, that was of course quite a shock. Average salary 50 to 100,000 crowns a year, and women get 25% less. And retirement starts at 67 years, and it's about 2,400 kronas per month. So the Soviet group visited summer residence of the Norwegian king, and she writes, her residence looked like a barn, dark color, grass growing on the roof, and a Norwegian flag. From there, they went to the monument of the fallen Soviet soldiers, and they laid flowers by that monument. So this is an interesting part of every Soviet trip to the other countries. There were specific locations, like they had to go and visit place of birth of Karl Marx, or like in this case, there's a monument of the fallen Soviet soldiers. I'm not sure why they have a monument in Norway, but that was a part of their trip. They had to go and visit that monument and lay flowers. And flowers were paid by government, Soviet government, so they didn't have to spend their precious the $63 they had. They didn't have to spend any of those money on the flowers. And then Nelly writes, finally after that, they let us have some free time. So they all waited, but finally they can just go on their own. And we raced towards the stores. Prices were insane. At the grocery stores, fruits, vegetables, meat, drinks, juices, everything is so beautiful. Everything looks good, packed. You can't tear your eyes off them. Then she continues, apples, pineapples, wines, totally unfamiliar vegetables packed neatly by 2-3 pieces in the box. Everything looks super fresh. Beautiful boxes of candy for 3-7 kronas. I wrote down, check this out, I wrote down prices for many clothing items, but they are insanely high for our $9. And here I need to chime in, because when I was first time or second time in America, when I got in the grocery store and I saw individually boxed, these little cute boxes with garlic. So every garlic head was neatly packed in this cute box. I just laughing so hard because it was just so weird. How can you waste all this package? Because back home, if the garlic, there'll be just giant bag of garlic and you just buy 2 or 3 or a kilo. No one even bothered to pack them like that. So back, she mentioned for our $9. So it looks like she's calculating they're gonna visit 7 countries. So they got $63 for 7 countries. And in the beginning of the diary, they were talking, sounded like maybe per family, but sounds like per person. So each person had $63 to spend in 7 countries. So $9 per country to spend on souvenirs. So you can imagine how horrible they felt, how poor they felt. Here they clinched their $9 to spend in a country where a box of candy is, close to $2. I feel her, because when I came to America, well, jeans and sneakers were way cheaper, like twice cheaper. But like groceries, they were so expensive compared with Kiev that, I hardly spent any money when I worked at the farm and had to buy groceries here in America. And I feel it, because even before America, when I went to Germany in the early 90s, I think it was like 1993, and at that time, I was still in college, and my father's salary was about $6 a month for that current rate of exchange, because they kind of let go. They weren't controlling rate of exchange in Ukraine. So here we're in Germany, and a bottle of water is 2 Deutschmark, and my dad makes enough money pretty much a month to buy 5 bottles of water in Germany. So we spent all day. We had free time in Berlin, like half of the day, and it was a really hot day. I didn't touch any water. I was so thirsty, but to pay 2 Deutschmark for a bottle of water, I was just like, there's no way I'm doing that. And back to the diary. And then she continues, pretty bitter words. The nastiest thing that happened today, actually, it was the worst thing happened in all this trip when he, and then she specifies husband, he didn't attend the gallery. So they went some kind of art gallery to see pictures. She actually went, I guess he broke off from the group and went to look around what he can buy. And then we came back for lunch. So they had meals at the ship because it was way cheaper. He told me, let's go. I found something to buy. So I thought, and we're talking about her birthday, their daughter's birthday, right? That October 25th. So I thought he found some present for our daughter. So he took me to the store, and you know what he did? He bought himself a ring. She said, I was so pissed, I was almost shaking. To be so selfish and so bold, I can't even imagine that. The most expensive country that I visited, and he just wasted $10 on such a piece of junk. I'm very, very not happy. Okay, so we're done with visiting Oslo, Norway, and their next stop will be Dublin, Ireland, from October 28th to October 30th. So we're gonna continue that in our next video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story, and for those who purchased my book, American Diaries 1995, and I already sold over 100 books from Amazon or directly to my subscribers who wanted the book signed, wanted a signed copy. If you please go to Amazon.com and post a review, I would greatly appreciate that. As I mentioned, I sold around 100 copies, but I have only 16 reviews. So it would greatly help to promote my book if you post a review on Amazon. Thank you so much. Большое спасибо. До свидания. Goodbye. Hey, by the way, cool merch for cool comrades is available at the Ushanka store at teespring.com. And if you love my channel and would like to show your support, please click on the link below this video and become the patron of the Ushanka Show. For as little as $1, you can help us grow and create the new, interesting videos about the life in Soviet Union.